What's going on, everybody? This is Kevin here. What do I say about North Carolina basketball and the state that it's in right now? Do I think the problems are fixable? I do not. Just looking at it from an eye perspective, there's so many problems wrong with this team that it's just not. It's not fixable. I'm just gonna go on out there, and I'm going out there on a limb right now, and it's a short limb. It doesn't have to be a long one. It's a short one. They're not good. They're going to be lucky Dayton again. That's just it. Caleb Wilson. Tonight was one of his off nights. They were awful. Vasier, awful. Just awful. The guards, awful. Everybody was awful. Trimble, awful. The one thing I did take note of was when Trimble was in the game, it was 15-20. And then when Trimble went out of the game, they cut it to 5, but then he inserts Trimble back into the game and it balloons right back up to 13. I thought Trimble was a senior, but he's still a freshman. Maybe he's let the money from the NIL and Ben and Jerry's get to his brain and not focus on basketball. But North Carolina fans, did you see the score of the Duke and Stanford game tonight? The final score was Duke 80, Stanford 50. Just like the score was the other night, Duke 71, Cal 56. And I said, there's no way in hell that North Carolina's going to hold California to 56. They're not going to hold anybody to 56. Right now, they're 14th in the ACC. 14th, and they're where they should be. The Notre Dame game at home is going to be a track meet. And if I had to bet on the game, I'd have to bet against Carolina. Even at the Smith Center. Wake Forest is a terrible team, guys, and they should have beat Carolina in the Smith Center. And then they go to what I call the bloodbath at the Notre Dame. Probably the most difficult game of the season at Virginia. I know at Cameron, we all know what's going to happen there. But the most difficult and painful game to watch is coming in Charlottesville. I would not be surprised. I'm going to say this. I would not be surprised if they fail to make it out of the 20s. They're not going to beat Duke this year. You can forget that. We got excited about NC State losing to Georgia Tech at home today, but NC State looked a lot better than North Carolina did, that's for sure. Still in a loss to Georgia freaking Tech at home. But by far the two most disappointing teams this year in the triangle and the two biggest letdowns in college basketball this year, it's by far, and it's not even close, North Carolina is number 1. NC State had high expectations. Preseason 26th. They had good expectations. Now they're on the bubble too, right along with North Carolina. I know, guys, North Carolina's 14-4, but yeah, they're on the bubble. They are on the bubble. Believe it or not, they're on the bubble. And I'm going to say this much right here. Hubert Davis has gave North Carolina 2 great, memorable games. And maybe the one 2 years ago, I think, in 2024 when Baycott. But for the last couple of years, it's just been, they're stale. I mean, they get no ball movement. It's the same thing that they ran last year. Stand around, dribble, dribble, dribble. Dribble, dribble, pass. Dribble, dribble, pass. You cannot and you will not get into an offensive flow of any kind in that. Now, let's talk about the North Carolina defense. Shall we? If I had to cast a vote on whose defense is the worst, and I know I'm in the heat of the moment right now, but I have to be bluntly honest. Whose defense was worse between Mac Brown's and in football and Hubert Davis's basketball team? Does anybody want to tell me? Because I'll tell you my thought. I think it's Hubert Davis's basketball team. I think they're getting worse every year. We got Henry Vasar, but you go look at Henry Vasar. He might score, but he's a huge defensive liability. Caleb Wilson is too. He's no stranger to being a defensive liability. He's not playing defense. He's not getting up there blocking shots. He's not. He's a lower tier 4-star right now. Borderline 3-star. Even though he's had tremendous success this year, but to be a 5-star, you have to be good on both ends of the court, and he's not. I mean, how many times are our bigs going to allow guards to just drive the lane, lay it up, or kick it out for 3? Guess as good as mine. I suspect everybody's going to be jacking it up from 3. What I saw tonight was the same thing I saw at Stanford. No effort, no care to win. Didn't care to even be there. What I saw in the Wake Forest game, they didn't care if they won that game or not. They just didn't care if they were there. It's been this way since the start of ACC play, and it hasn't stopped. And getting wins over Florida State and Wake Forest means absolutely dog shit. It means absolutely nothing. I mean, it means absolutely nothing. They don't even look like they're getting the right nutrition, too. I mean, they're slow. Caleb Wilson, the last 2 games, look at his ball movements. I mean, there's been flashes where he gets quick dunks and stuff, but I've also took notice that he's very slow with the ball. You can't. I mean, sometimes he'll hesitate, but he proved my point again tonight. He's not a good distance shooter. He's not. And yes, we can say he's NBA ready because of his ability to attack the basket, but what do you think teams are going to do in the NBA when he gets there? If they're double teaming him in college, and it's just, and he's not producing like he did tonight, is the NBA ready? No, and I'll tell you the reason why. He's got a head coach that is holding him back. This team, they're not a good team. And they don't have the personnel to compete outside of that, the two front court. They're not the best two front court in the best front court in college basketball. I've heard it and I've heard it and I've heard it until I'm sick and tired of hearing it. Caleb Wilson and Henry Vaciar is by far, and it's not even close, they're not the best front court in college basketball. And it just pisses me off that the media continues to say North Carolina is the best front court in college basketball. No, the fuck they're not. This team, oh man. I mean, Hubert goes to the 2-3 zone, right? And that brings California to a screeching halt in the first half. Then he goes back to saying, let's switch. And when that happens, California's threes just flood open. It's like the Pacific just come flooding into that basketball arena and just wash North Carolina all the way back to the state, to Chapel Hill. Oh, man. There's no doubt, without a question in my mind, this is going to be a long season, and it is going to be yet another season in which Carolina fans have to nail bite themselves to figure out if they're going to get to Dayton or not. And the question now is, it's not a matter of when. I mean, it's not a matter of if it's going to happen. It's a matter of when it's going to happen. Me personally, I see a lot of things coming down in Chapel Hill. The Board of Trustees, tossed. Why? Because the school thinks he made a bad decision in hiring Bill Belichick. Likely so. And they didn't throw a lot of money to the basketball program. Maybe that's why we're getting lack of production. I don't know. But what I do know is Hubert Davis, your ass is on fire, buddy. And you might want to start coaching. You might want to start putting a lot of press on them before games, grilling them before the game. You might want to start because time is running out on you, Hubert. Time is running out. Now, you can take it for what you want to, Carolina fans, but I'm telling you right now, if this continues to happen, Hubert Davis, his days are numbered in Chapel Hill. And so is Marcus Page's and the rest of the coaches. I've been saying all along since this disaster has began, you know, first of all, it's back-to-back years of bubble watching, you know, getting in, squeaking in as a 9 seed or squeaking in as a tie for 11 in Dayton. Is that Carolina basketball? That's what the Board of Trustees has got to think about. Now that they fired the Board of Trustees top head. Now they got to figure that out. And I don't see Bubba Cunningham keeping his job either. I think he's retiring at the end of the year, but I'm not sure. But I really don't think it's going to matter. After 3 terrible football seasons and this nonchalant in basketball, and we don't have a good women's basketball team either. I think it's time for them to look not for just a new basketball coach, but I think it's time for them to start warming up, cranking up that tractor and warming up that engine, or cranking up that car and warming up that engine and saying, look, we got to get out and we got to go find a good coach. So, Hubert, you might want to start winning, buddy. You might want to start telling your team to play some damn defense, because if they don't, I think the Board of Trustees has had it. I think they've had it to the wit's end. And he's on the hot seat. There's no question about it. No doubt about it in my mind. If they bring him back next year, if we don't get this thing fixed somehow, to a certain degree this year, because there's not going to be a way, it's not 100% fixable. This team is not fully fixable. You can't. You can use them as parts, like a broken car, but that's pretty much all you can get. You can use them for, to squeeze out some wins, maybe enough to get to Dayton. That's as far as they can get. Dayton, that's it. And you know what? I wouldn't think they may not even get put there this year, because everybody was mad because they got in last year. They should not have got in last year. They had no business getting in last year, but they did make a little bit of noise. They won the first game and they took Ole Miss down to the wire, but they lost. Problem is, North Carolina basketball ain't supposed to be playing in the play-in game, and they're not supposed to be getting eliminated in the first round, which would have been their second round. But it's a long season left, and I think that's an unfortunate thing for Carolina. I'm just ready for baseball season now, I guess you want to say, but I'm just astonished and can't believe just how bad we are in basketball. I don't get it. All right, Carolina fans, there's going to be no more Rage videos. So don't look for that. And there may be less content that I produce for Carolina. Not buying nothing for them. When you win, you sell. When you play like this and you don't lose, it stays on the shelf at the store. That's just the way it works. People don't buy teams stuff that just don't care to win. It don't happen. I know I'm not. I even seen a comment on the Tar Heel fan page today saying this person, I think his name, I'm not going to say his name, but he said he's not watching another Carolina game until Hubert Davis is fired. Well, you won't be watching another Carolina game until next year because I don't like changing coaches in the middle of the season. To me, it's a soft move. I always believe in letting them coach out the rest of their season, even though it's painful as it is. But it's not like bringing in. First of all, you'd have to bring in Marcus Page or somebody like that. Marcus Page can't even recruit or do strength and conditioning. None of these coaches are good. That's the problem with North Carolina. But anyways, guys, I'm getting off here. I've had enough of North Carolina basketball. I just, over the last couple of days, I hope they don't play until next Sunday. I don't even know when their next, I know it's Notre Dame, I think. But for heaven's sake, let it be next Sunday. I haven't even looked at the damn schedule to see when they play Notre Dame. I mean, I guess I'll have to look if I want to find out, but I'm in no rush, believe me. Because right now, we fucking suck. And that is what it is.